What is unknown to us here in this room, or at least the press, I believe, at the moment, is the identity of the second driver who's going to race alongside Ralf Schumacher in the forthcoming 2000 season. Now, the test sessions, the supposed shootout between Bruno Junqueira and Jenson Button concluded here yesterday in just about ideal conditions. And Frank, perhaps you can update us on where you are with the decision-making process.
Yes, thank you, Steve. The decision, I emphasize strongly, was a very, very close run thing. A lot of time was spent arriving at the conclusion at which we have arrived. The name of our new driver who will join Ralf in the BMW Williams team this year is Jenson Button.
Jenson Button to be the second driver alongside Ralf Schumacher in the BMW Williams Formula 1 team. Welcome, 20-year-old Jenson Button. I'll let you get your seat and also get your breath back, Jenson, because it's been a frantic last 45 minutes or so for Jenson, and we'll let a few pictures go in the can as well. Frank, it was a tough decision. It was a close decision, as you've emphasized as well. We all feel for Bruno, who will stay involved with the team. But try and outline the kind of talent that you've seen in 20-year-old Jenson Button here.
Well, Patrick said to me, Frank, whatever decision we arrive at, it must be logical and well considered. We wanted to give both drivers, therefore, as much running as we could. They could have had more running, but by the smallest of margins, we decided to go for Jenson, because we feel that over the long term he has truly vast potential. He is very young at this moment.
Has it all sunk in yet?
I think I'm still on cloud 9 at the moment. The last 45 minutes has been, well, it's very difficult to explain because I've never experienced anything like it. It's an amazing feeling being a part of the Williams BMW F1 package. And I'd like to say thank you to Frank Williams and Gerhard Berger for their decision. I know it was a very difficult one between me and Bruno. I think he's been the most difficult competitor I could have had outside Formula 1. And good luck to him in the future.
Why do you think you're ready at 20 years old for Formula 1?
Well, I've been racing actually longer than most people think. I've been only racing in cars for 2 years, but I've been racing in karts for about 10 years previous. And all the pressures to do with racing and off the circuit as well in the paddock, to do with media and press, I think I learned there. Because there's a lot of pressures from different countries because you're racing in the World and European Championships. So when I actually moved to cars, it was just more concentrating on the new formulas, especially in Formula Ford, and just doing the best job I can. And I've done that. And in Formula 3 last year, I think I learnt a lot mechanically. And I'm sure I'm ready for Formula 1. I think this year's going to be a very interesting year for me.
You proved a tremendous amount yesterday, not only to Frank and the team, but also I think to yourself. You were very tense in the morning. All you could do was wait to get in the car, which you did around about 2:30. What did you learn about yourself yesterday?
Yesterday was the first time I felt nervous for a very long time. Previous tests, I didn't feel so nervous. I think it was yesterday. All the press started arriving. And I knew it was going to be one of my last chances to show what I can do in a Formula 1 car. And it was an amazing day for me. I had a very good test along with Bruno. The day went very well. And I worked with the team quite well. I think the team did an excellent job of making me feel at home, as they have done over the last couple of weeks. And we worked together and got the car working very well in the latter part of the day, and were able to put some good times in.
You were down to the times that you were aiming for fairly rapidly. Left foot braking, I think, for the first time in your career.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Everybody says you've been karting for quite a while, so it's quite easy to get used to, but it's a completely different feeling. In karting, it's either off or on, but in a Formula 1 car, there's a lot more feel to the pedal. But no, it's come quite easy. But I think not driving a Formula 1 car, I haven't driven a Formula 1 car. I haven't done that many laps in a Formula 1 car. But I think it's the best way to learn to left foot brake. I think if you've done a year in Formula 1, say, it's a lot more difficult to adapt.
Okay, let's get a thought though from the senior partner now, Ralf Schumacher.
Senior partner, thank you very much for that one. Well, I guess, you know, if you're quick, why not? I mean, I joined Formula One with 21, so it's just a year later. So, and I survived till today, so why not? And I'm sure, I mean, I personally never saw a race of him, so I can't say anything. I hope he's not too quick. I hope he's not making my life too difficult, and we'll see how it goes on.
What is the initial advice you would have for him? What is he aiming to learn during the course of this first season in Formula One?
Well, it's quite difficult. First time you get to a racing track, like Melbourne or whatever, you don't know the circuit, you just go there and it's all quite easy. But then as the Saturday comes and you haven't found your setup for the car, and as the qualifying comes, you all of a sudden feel a bit of pressure, but that's normal. And then all the media side, so it's, you know, it took me more than half a season really to feel relatively confident in Formula One and to concentrate on the right stuff. Well, let's say nearly 2 seasons, I would say.
I have to say, I was expecting the decision to be fairly simple, and unfortunately at Jerez he did a very good job very quickly and immediately made it extremely difficult for us, because both Bruno and Jenson are definitely very, very talented drivers. And I must say for Bruno that I think he definitely has a very, very good future ahead of him. But by doing such a strong job at Jerez, which unfortunately Bruno didn't have the opportunity to run in the dry at Jerez, Jenson very much put himself in the frame, and then it was a question of needing to carry the test on here, and we did more testing yesterday, and it was a very close run decision.
Gerhard Berger, what will be the sense of satisfaction that you'll get in about half an hour's time when we see the new car, and ultimately this afternoon when it's rolled out on the track for the first time?
I said just this morning to Frank, I said, and to Bacek, we put our goals very high in the way how we would like, or how we want to present our team. And I can tell you we had also some occupation involved in it, but finally we reached our goals. And I think what we're going to see just soon, I think it's a nice looking Formula One car with great partners on it. And now we have to reach our next goal, to have success with it.
What would be your next goal? Targets for the season, we have to say, should be modest.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, this is a season, going to be a season full of learning for us, especially for BMW. As Mario said already, Williams going to help us a lot with their experience. I think, or especially I know how difficult it is in Formula One to win races, and I really want to be realistic with our goals. And if we could end up in the front of the midfield this season, I think it would be a good achievement.
Are there any questions from over this side?
But it just didn't happen. I woke up this morning being as nervous as I ever have been, and carried on from there. It was a really strange feeling, and he started crying and I got upset, and now it's been an amazing day so far for me.
He was also surprised that he saw some tears in your eyes, which is a rare thing. I haven't seen that since you were a child.
Describe what I'm going through at the moment. It's the last couple of hours have been the most interesting time of my life, and probably the most exciting. I'm sure when I get in the car next it's going to be even more exciting, but it's a very strange feeling, tingling all over my body, and just floating about at the moment in the clouds, but it's going to sink in this evening, I think.
A few F1 pundits have said maybe you're too young for this drive. How would you answer them?
They've got their just their opinion, I think. A lot of people maybe think that because I'm only 20 years old and racing in cars for 2 years, but I've been racing a lot longer than that in kart racing, and I learned a lot there to do with racecraft and technically. So I'm definitely ready for Formula One, and I think it's me that knows if I'm ready for Formula One, and I'm sure that I am. So I'm going to look forward to it.
You're obviously used to dealing with sponsors already, but from for example, Castrol's point of view, what do you think you can bring to the sponsors? What could you bring to somebody like Castrol? Why should they want you driving for them?
Because I'm going to do the best job I possibly can in Formula One. It's difficult to say where I'm going to be at the end of 2000. But I'm going to try my hardest for them, and I'm sure we're going to work all very well together. I'm sure we'll gel over the next few days and do the best job we can and work together.
Do you think your youth can bring something to the team? What could you bring as a young driver?
I think it is good, young drivers now racing in Formula One, because in every sport, or most sports now, including tennis and golf and football, it seems to be getting a lot younger, and it's just like being the first breed, really, first of the new ones. But no, it's very good for me, and I think we're all going to work very well together, me and Ralf. He's very young still, so I'm sure we're going to have a good year.
I mean, I'm sure he's a very quick driver, otherwise he wouldn't be here today, and I'm sure he's going to try to put me under pressure. We'll see. Hopefully he's not too quick.
As you said, you were thrust into the F1 arena at a young age. What advice would you give him?
It's difficult to give anybody an advice because it's very individual how you handle it, basically. But see, Formula One is not easy. You have a lot of media interest. You have all the new circuits you have to learn, and on the other hand, you have 30 people which wanted to know from you how the car and the engine is. So it's a lot to learn. Well, obviously, from a driver's point of view, it's a great partnership, and especially for a German driver with a German engine, it's always nice. I mean, I would say it's a bit of extra pressure, but on the other hand, it's a goal which I want to reach.
When we start to think about our package, it was clear for us that we want to have partners what are technically involved, and to have Castrol as a partner for us is extremely important because we work in different areas with them. We work very strongly together in road car area. Now we work very strongly together in Formula One, and we was working already strongly together in other motorsport activities. I remember myself well when in Formula One, every second week you came and you saw your technical equipment, and one of the questions was always, do we have some new oil? Did we reduce friction? Do we get some better fuel? So it's an area where it's worked very hard in Formula One, where you can get a big improvement out, where you can get an advantage out to your competitors. So I think it's great to have Castrol as a partner. I think it's nice to take a risk. I think Jenson show a lot of potential, and I think we are prepared to take the risk, and hopefully he can transfer it in some success.
The eyes of the world are watching BMW this year. You will be seen to be competing directly against McLaren and Mercedes. How important is it for BMW to do well this first year?
Well, I would say this year would be a very unfair comparison, because McLaren and Mercedes having many seasons together now, and putting much more experience in than we are doing. We are starting completely from zero. We have a brand new engine. We build up a brand new team, people. The only strong part of experience what we have is the team Williams. So we're going to have a learning period this year, and we're going to need some time.
Finally, why choose to develop your engine in-house? Why not go to someone like McLaren did?
Well, there are different ways to do it. We prefer the way to understand everything ourselves. We prefer to involve our own engineers, and we know it's going to be a hard way. We know it's going to be taking a bit longer time, but on the other side, for us, it's important to make the engine in-house.